in today's episode of 5 Scary Things Caught on Camera. Number 5. Our fifth video comes from the YouTube channel Micol, which this time he went to an abandoned village, and more precisely to the previously selected largest building. After getting inside, it wasn't long before strange phenomena began to happen.
계십니까? 뭔 소리야? 누구세요? 잠깐. 뭔 소리야? 뭔 소리 방금? 누구십니까 혹시? 혹시 누구세요?
When Michael walks down the corridor, at its end, we see the yellow door moving by itself, then another, and another one. Eventually, 5 of them moved, which is quite difficult to do, as there had to be 5 other people there to move it. Then, when he comes over and checks that no one is in the rooms, the door starts moving again.
예. 잠깐. 아씨, 미친. 하지 마세요. 여긴 내가 낄 자리가 아닌가? 여긴 내가 낄 자리가 아닌가? 아이씨.
After the door moved again, he started checking every room, and there was no one in any of them. Then, he entered a larger room, where he recorded this.
와, 냄새. 뭐야? 미치겠다. 뭐야? 뭔 소리야? 뭔 소리야? 와! 여기 잠깐만요. 잠깐만요. 그렇지. 잠깐만요. 와!
The steel pipe has been moved, and then we see the ball rolling around the room, and finally the table raised. After what he saw, he decides to go outside, where he records something really scary.
와!
When Michael is outside, in the window, we see two black figures hiding inside the building. He decides to check it out and goes where he saw them, but instead he catches this.
거기 누구요? 거기
At the end of the corridor, in the doorway, we see a reflection of someone or something black that scares him enough to run away from the building for good. So, what do you folks think about it? Did he manage to record real ghosts and unexplained phenomena on the camera? Or maybe a group of some friends is helping him and it's all a hoax? You are the judges, you decide. If you want to watch the full episode, visit his YouTube channel, Dr. Micol. Number 4. The next scary video comes from the YouTube channel Guanajuato Paranormal Official, who decided to go to the cemetery himself at night, and he managed to record something that he didn't even notice.
Donde hicieron otro perfil con el nombre de mi canal Guanajuato Paranormal Oficial y la imagen que tengo yo aquí en el canal de todos ustedes. No se vale, le pido a esa persona, como yo estoy ya registrado con Hacienda, se puede meter en un problema, al igual como lo hicieron con Baneste. No anden haciendo sus perfiles falsos en los canales.
When he searches the area with his flashlight around one of the tombstones, we see a dark figure that at first glance seems to be a shadow, but after a while it hides and disappears. What do you think about it? Real or fake? Decide, folks. DeepWeb Video of the Week. Number 3. Another video comes from the YouTube channel Hasan Barbar, which as usual went to an abandoned building in the Middle East, where he tried to catch the Jinn on the camera. Right after he entered the building, he experienced strange things that started happening around him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
في بشر هون. احنا بدنا بشر. في بشر هون. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الخبث والخبائث. تقولوا إنه إشي كان مسكر الباب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سكر لي الباب واعطينا اي اشاره انك انت موجود. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. في صوت طلع. بدي اخوان مش عارف في شغلات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
A moving rope, closing door, and various objects that were thrown at him are nothing compared to what happened next.
طبعا يا اخوان والله في صوت، اقسم بالله العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. اخوان شايفين؟ يي اخوان وقعت كشاف، خليني ارجع اجيبه. طب وينك انت؟ وين رحت؟
At some point, at the end of the corridor, a dark-hinged figure appears, which slowly walks to the room on the right side. At the time when it enters and disappeared into it, Hasan immediately runs to check the room, but finds no one there. Then he continues his exploration until he meets the mysterious figure once again.
أنا خايف أروح أقرب عليه يا إخوان يصير إشي فيي بعدين. لأنه ضاوي، أنا كان طافي معي يا إخوان. طلع إخوان جد ما بدي أقرب عشان أنا ما انضرش عند الكشاف. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مش قادر أقرب عليه لأنه خايف أنغدر صراحة. طلع. والله العظيم بقولكم يا اخوان، بقولكم انا
Again, we see the same dark mysterious figure slowly approaching him and then disappearing into one of the rooms. What do you folks think about it? Was it a real Jinn? Or maybe it is just someone in disguise walking around an abandoned building? Choose wisely. If you want to watch the full episode of this investigation, visit his YouTube channel Hasan Barbar. Number 2. Another recording, this time from YouTube user Outdoor Xiaolong, which as usual decided to go to an abandoned and haunted place to broadcast live there, that he called Beast Building. After arriving at the place and starting the exploration, he was haunted by the door, which irritated him a bit.
我操你妈！我操你妈！我操你妈！我操你！
Twice the door moved right in front of him. Xiaolong immediately ran to check that no one was messing with him, but then no one was found. Next, he was checking other rooms, and this happened.
我操你妈！我操你死妈的！塞着！我操你妈！操你妈！去你！操你妈！操你妈！ 我操！我操你！我吹！我操你妈个逼！
Suddenly, the chair that stands at the end of the corridor is suddenly jerked, and moments after that, the artificial flower falls to the ground. After that, Xiaolong decided to go to another part of the building where he experienced this. At some point, objects begin to fall from the ceiling that could have hurt him quite a bit. And finally, I want to show you something that I noticed, and I don't know if it's something paranormal or not.
来呀，你跟我聊聊啊！啊！你们听没听着刚才有个小孩的声儿？
When Xiaolong stands on the stairs and listens to the strange noises, in the lower right corner we see something weird, something I can't explain. It could probably be his hand, but who knows? So, what do you folks think about this place? It is really haunted, or everything can be explained rationally? The final decision is yours. I highly recommend watching this episode and visiting his YouTube channel, Outdoor Xiaolong. Number 1. The last scary video comes from the well-known YouTube channel Ricky Velázquez, which went to the haunted house and broadcasting everything live as usual. At one point during the investigation, Ricky noticed something strange in one of the windows.
¿Qué lugar? ¡Ey! ¿Escuchas? Sí, escuché, güey. Oh, se vio antes algo, güey. Yo lo vi en la, sí, exactamente en la ventanita, güey. Güey, me asusté, güey.
¿Salimos?
¿Eh?
¿Salimos?
¿Vamos a salir? Güey, vi a alguien ahí asomándose, güey. ¿Tú lo notaste?
Lo vi perfectamente.
Ajá, clarito ahí algo se había asomado.
Something white seemed to be watching them through the window. Something that disappeared very quickly. But what they experienced later is even more chilling.
Una señal, güey. Están escuchando cosas horribles, güey. Se están escuchando cosas horribles. ¿Y la muñeca, güey? ¿La muñeca? Prende, güey, los focos de aquí, ¿dónde se prenden, güey? Esta cañón se siente horrible. ¡Muéstrate! 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 Me siento muy extraño. El lugar está súper pesado. Obviamente hay que regresar con un ritual a este lugar.
When they are on the second floor, the sensor that was downstairs is triggered. They decide to check it, but everything stops and we hear 3 loud bangs. Then they decide to conduct an experiment and set up the camera and leave the building.
Se prendió, güey. Güey, mira. Y justo en el momento, güey, se está apagando todo, güey. Apagando, se está cortando la señal, se ha prendido el foco. ¿Están sensores?
For the first few seconds, nothing happens. But then we hear the child's voice. Next, the light on the second floor is turned on, and we see a shadow or a figure there, but no one should be inside. And finally, just before they run into the building, the radio turns on by itself. What do you folks think about it? Was Ricky really recorded something in the haunted house? Or was it just a well-prepared hoax? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.